Of the Snowman Showdown. So first off, thank you so much. And I want to tell you just a little bit about me because I have, oh, are you on Texas Arkansas? Oh, hey guys, we are doing our third day of the Snowman Showdown. So if you're in the Snowman Showdown, go over to the Snowman Showdown group. And then for the rest of you, I'm going to share a little bit about my story. So if you want to peek in just a little bit, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how I got started, so if you're new to me. So make sure you say hi and let us know if you're new to me, if you've watched some of my videos before, and go from there. And if they have a question, you can ask that too. Okay, yes, great reverse paint parties. Okay, Tammy says, I've enjoyed painting along. Okay, guys, my name is Heidi Easley, as you know from now. And I teach women how to make money teaching paint parties online, in person, and with art kits. And I have taught thousands of people all over the world. And basically, I love teaching you how to make money using your creative talents. Because again, I feel like there is this huge gap between people who are creative and people who know how to do marketing. It doesn't matter if you're the best painter in the world. If you don't know how to market yourself, it won't matter. So basically, I want to tell you just a little bit about my story. So I went bankrupt a business owner before the age of 30. We lost everything. It was pretty embarrassing, humiliating to say the least. For many years I wouldn't talk about it openly. Just a few years ago I started talking about this. And so what had happened is we lost it all, and then I went in kind of this depression. I was sad. I felt embarrassed. My parents taught me, like, yes, you can borrow money, but you better pay that money back, right? Like, that's how we were raised. And so whenever we went through this huge financial turndown, and my husband lost his job, and we had like a second mortgage, and we had all these crazy things, we weren't using our money right. We were in our 20s, and all of a sudden, the market crashes. And I didn't realize at the time that millions of people were losing their home. I thought I was the only one. I thought, how dare I, right? And I thought I was the only one. So I just really went into kind of a fetal position of sadness, of guilt, of embarrassment to my family, to my friends. I didn't tell my friends. I was just so embarrassed. So anyway, I used art to heal. Anybody on here use art to heal? So I started painting these little miniature surfboards. So we had some scrap wood at my sister's house. We ended up cutting them out, and I just started painting. And that was my way to heal. And so I was a teacher at the time. I had 850 kids a week. And so I would go in and I would teach, and I had my surfboard there, and I would be painting on it. And the kids would see it, and they would go, oh my gosh, Miss Easley, you've got to paint me a surfboard. You've got to put my name on it. And I would just go, oh, no, this is mine. I'm just working on something. And then they just kept asking and asking. And then after about the 150th kid asked that, it was like a light bulb went off. And I thought, man, maybe I can use this to help my family. And so fast forward, we went, Sandy, yes, I can see your name in the comments. Fast forward, and I ended up, talking to my mother-in-law, my stepdad, and my husband, all of them, and, they're like, we can help you. Let's try to see if this works. So we end up, setting up at Pier Park. I ended up, negotiating a deal for a 10 by 10 square foot piece of concrete at Pier Park in Panama City Beach, Florida. And we set up to sell these surfboards. And nobody is buying. And I'm like, what happened? Like, I am dying. And so my mother-in-law senses my frustration, and she, what do you do when you failed? You've gone bankrupt before the age of 30. You have started a new business thinking you have a new take on life, and then it fails. You go to Buffalo Wild Wings and you drink. That's what I did. So we walk across the street to Buffalo Wild Wings, and I'm at the bar, and I'm taking a few drinks, washing all my sorrows away, trying to think of my plan B or my plan C, and realizing I don't have any of those. And realizing at that moment that, man, life is hard and this sucks. And a few more drinks in, my husband calls. He calls me and he's like, Heidi, get over here. We have orders. Get over here. And I will never forget this. So I walk across the street a little tipsily, if I don't know if that's a word, tipsily. I walk across the street a little bit, and I look at my husband, and he's got these tickets, like, pretend like these are tickets. I know they're Amazon gift cards now, but he has all these tickets. We have paper tickets, and he's looking at me, and he's like, Heidi, get to painting. get to painting, and I'm like, and there was just tons of them, and I'm like, are you kidding me? And so I went from this moment, every time I think about this moment, I tear up. I went from this moment of total uncertainty, of total sadness, of thinking, you know, man, I failed again. How many times can I fail before I'm 30? Like, really? I have a toddler. You know, I'm supposed to take care of her, and I can't even get my act together. Like, I had this feeling of just total failure. And then looking at my husband with all those paper tickets and realizing, like, it just felt like in that moment that God, like, scooped me up. It felt like in that moment that he scooped me up and he said, Heidi, you're not only going to be okay, but you're going to be able to do what you love forever. And that moment, as you can tell, still to this day, over a decade later, has still driven me. Every time I think about something, I think about that moment. When I think about, like, is this too hard? Is this something I can do? I think about that moment. And I know God put me on this path to not only make money doing what I love, but then it fast forward, you know, we ended up selling over 1,000 surfboards in just a 2-month period of time, working 3 days a week, 12-hour days. I worked my butt off. My family worked their butt off. But I knew every single surfboard I painted was a chance at my family's future. Every single time I painted one, that was $20 more. It was going to help my family. So we ended up selling over 1,000 surfboards, which means this person who seriously painted one painting in a year, I had to learn to paint fast. Not just fast, but like I would paint until 2 in the morning to get orders ready for the next day. I mean, I was like a machine because I knew it had to be done because this was the way out. This was going to help my family. So fast forward, we move to North Texas. It's really hard to sell surfboards in North Texas. So I'm teaching. I end up starting a paint party business. And then the paint party business starts to take over my life. And then all of a sudden I'm doing more paint parties and I'm working full time and it's just overwhelming. And so we finally got to a point where I ended up stopping the teaching. The paint parties took over. And then people started asking me, how are you doing this? How are you doing this? And this is what has led to me teaching thousands of you how to do this yourself. So I just wanted to share that with you because I know a lot of you are brand new to me and you don't know the backstory. Sometimes you see people online and you just think success, it just happens overnight. It's no big deal. No, it's not like that. It's never like that. So I want to encourage you no matter where you are at, whether you are, you know, like I used to be, like every time I go to the grocery store, I would literally go, oh my gosh, do I have enough in my account to pay for it? That was the go-to. And I'd call Bobby, what do you want to put back? I ain't got it. Like, and we would, you know, put stuff back. And now, I just, you know, one of my big things was like, I know when I'm successful, when I can just go to the grocery store and buy Tostitos, like, because that was my name brand chips and Tide. I loved going, I can buy Tide and Tostito chips. Like, that was my measurement of success. And so even today, when I go buy Tide and Tostitos, it like gives me a little smile. It makes me happy because I know that, you know, I can pay for that now. And before, it was so hard. And so if you're in that place, I totally get it. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to show you 3 different ways to make some money, some creative Christmas money. So again, I'm all about a profit every party. You don't have to be the best painter, and you can make it fun. So, oh good, I'm glad you are appreciating that. Oh, thank you, Londa. Oh, you're welcome, Alicia. Yeah, I know sometimes Regina says, thank you so much for sharing your testimony. God is good. He is good. Very grateful. Yes, and yeah, and you do have to definitely. Heidi, I want to hear how Bobby got those orders while you were at Buffalo Wild Wings. What prompted those folks to place orders all of a sudden? Dawn, great question. So I should have known this living on the beach, but everybody was on the beach during the day. And now, at night, they all go to eat at the restaurants, and they were buying at night. So almost all of my orders came from 6 p.m. at night till like 10:30 in the evening. So I was set up at like 11 a.m. thinking, I'm ready. And then, of course, that didn't happen. So yeah, that's what prompted all of that. It was my good looks. Do what? It was my good looks. Oh, Bobby says it was his good looks. He is very handsome. Yeah, that's what changed it all. It was the good looks. Once I left, and they're like, yeah, let's do this. Okay, so, and now it's gone to, oh, bye guys. Texas, Arkansas.
And tell them where to go to get Snowman Showdown.
Oh, yes. If you want to watch the replay of all this, you can still buy it at thesnowmanshowdown.com for $10, and you'll get all 3 lessons, including what I'm going to teach tonight about making creative money for Christmas. So, all right, enjoy. Bye, guys. Okay.